All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy July 31st, coming to you live and direct from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm going to start this off really quick with a quick message of gratitude to each of you. I am honored and I am grateful that I have the ability to coach. I am grateful for the honor to be able to lead, to be in your lives, to be impacted by you, and to hopefully impact your life and business on some level. And so I just want to tell you guys that I'm grateful. Any opportunity that I have to speak, to go to these events, to contribute, all has started because of this, because of you, because of this company. And so none of these opportunities would exist without this. This will always be my true north. And so I wanted to thank you guys for everything that you guys do for my life. Thank you for making a huge difference in who I am, who I'm becoming, and who I will be in the future in this industry. So I just want to send a message of gratitude to each of you and everyone that will see this in the future. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. I'm full of gratitude, full of excitement this morning. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road. I'm going to turn it over to somebody. And as always, we're going to have this person bring us out on the field. And I see some smiling faces, but since this person was 4 minutes early, I'm actually going to pass it over to Blessing because she was here in the waiting room. I never opened the waiting room until it hits 8:30 exactly. So Blessing, I'm going to have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning. So go ahead and hit them with it and let's go.
And isn't it a wonderful Wednesday? There is just so many that we can get caught up in. And we have, and I think I said this last week, we have the opportunity to create the day that we want, but stop in this moment and realize like just how much gratitude is flowing and how grateful it is to see everyone and to be able to grow and be vulnerable and attack this business together, because things are they're a little crazy right now. But they're not crazy for those that have a community. So for everyone who shows up, for everyone who puts their camera on when you don't feel like when you show up, just know like your face can just be the thing that someone else needs to see. Even if you're not really contributing or you don't feel like you are, showing up every single day is the contribution that we all need. So make sure that you're showing up for yourself today. So if that's going to go get your nails done, going to get a massage, practicing the scripts, whatever you need to do so that you can be your best self, let's do that today and every day. And just remember that if it's not going the way you want to, flip a switch and we can make it go the way that we need.
God, I love that. You guys, there's going to be so many unexpected moments on these calls. There's going to be powerful moments from your peers, from guests on the call that are going to resonate with you. And there's going to be lessons that you learn on this call, and not always from me, from people that are just in this room. And so your guys' voice, your message, your contribution is super important, because something that you are facing right now and have overcome might be the exact same challenge that someone is facing right now in their life and business. And your words of wisdom, your message of hope, your message of inspiration, your strategy, your technique is something that may be able to help someone. And let's always empower each other. And here's the thing, you guys, we talk about the collective wisdom. Before we get rolling, I believe in that to my heart and soul, the collective wisdom, the power of the collective wisdom. That's why we do this. That's why we do this. There's so much positivity that could come out of this, so much knowledge, so much intel. So you guys, let's continue to show up. Let's continue to be here. Let's look at Adonis and let's give him a huge round of applause, because baby boy is walking now. All right. Hi, baby boy. He is walking and we're so proud of you. He looks just like his daddy. Look at him right now. But congratulations to the Cleone family for a huge milestone. And now he will not stop moving, and you're going to be chasing him all over the house. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, we're here at Inman. We are learning, we are growing, we are, pouring into one another. And here's what I realized at a very high level. It doesn't matter the brokerage. It doesn't matter the brand. It doesn't matter where you're aligned with, big brokerage, boutique. It does not matter. Right now, what we need in this industry is we need each other. We need each other to be able to share our thoughts, come together in groups like this. We need to attend events, be on podcasts. I don't care where you guys are getting it from. Lean into this community. There's no trade secrets. We are not coveting information. This is a time that we need each other more than we ever have. So get on those podcasts, listen to those recordings, ask questions from other people that you feel are leading the way right now. And it's super important that you guys are leaning inward to this and that you are not a recluse. right? There is no reason to feel like you're on an island when all the doors around you are open. The only reason that people feel like an island because they choose to isolate. They choose to put themselves on an island, and then what happens? They say, no one was there for me. Well, when the fuck did you raise your hand and ask for some help? When did you get in a room and say, you know what? I'm faced with this challenge and I'm scared to raise my hand, but I'm doing it anyways because I feel like I need a little bit more help. You got to ask for the help that you need right now in this business. If you feel like you are on the outskirts, if you feel like you're a loner, if you feel like you're alone, how much of that are you putting on yourself? And are you asking people around you that I need help? I'm asking questions to people that are billionaires because I don't know what they're doing and I just want to know a little bit of their secret sauce. So I'm asking questions. I'm filling my cup, and I want to encourage you guys. Right now, we need each other. We need this industry. No matter who it is, where they are, what brokerage, there is no lines. This is no borders. This is about us coming together as an industry. Does that make sense, everybody? Anybody have anything before we get started? I got some stuff I want to share with you guys, but does anybody have anything before we get rolling on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning?
Yep, I saw you on that stage, and I had a proud pupil moment, man. So just wanted to give you your flowers and your kudos for what you're out there embarking on. That's big to see the work.
I appreciate it, you guys. I appreciate it. I remember when we were just starting. And it's really, really humbling, you guys, to be up there and like to meet all these people, and they've seen our story, they've seen our journey, they've seen our growth. And all of that is because of video. You guys, like when I tell you the power of it, I would have never got this opportunity if I hadn't been documenting our journey for all these years. And so you guys, like, I got goosebumps. I get to meet with the president of Inman tomorrow. I have no idea what that meeting is for, but I appreciate that, Demian. I really, really appreciate that. And each of you have that same opportunity, the same opportunity. The same opportunity that exists for me exists for you, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the road ahead for all of us. So let's get right into this, you guys. I posted something yesterday, and so did Kenny. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick pause. And what I want everyone to do is look at the screen, and I want you guys to look at this, and it's called, What is Your Archetype? When we think about our archetype, this means that how we are building our brand and what type of consumers that we truly want to attract, that we want to work with. Now, I'll give you a quick example just so you can kind of put some framework in what an archetype is. When Subaru does advertisements, what do you think their archetype for a consumer that's going to purchase a Subaru is? Anybody want to kind of just answer that? What is Subaru's target market? Go ahead and take yourself off of mute. You guys know, you see them, especially if you go to the mountains and stuff like that.
Outdoor
when
people.
You think
Outdoorsy people.
Outdoor people.
Off-roading families.
Off-roading families, being able to go up into the snow, being able to have the room in the car, so on and so forth. Reliability. All right. How many people own a Jeep on this call? Please raise your hand if you are a Jeep owner. Anybody on the call? All right. So there's a saying out there, if you are a Jeep owner, does anybody know what the saying is? Even if you don't own one, does anyone even know what the saying is? All right, cool. It's a Jeep thing, right? Oh, well, I have the 3-inch lift. I took my roof off. I took my doors off. I'm going through the mud, even though I live in an area where there is no freaking off-road trails. It's a Jeep thing, right? And so you think about the archetype and the person that they're trying to attract. When you think about like the commuter and Tesla and being able to be efficient, and if you're a tech person, you're going to love this vehicle. So you have to think about yourself and say, okay, how am I building my own brand? And if I want to be seen and if I want to be known as this person, if I want to attract a certain type of demographic, maybe it's a first-time home buyer, maybe it is a luxury type person, maybe it is the person that is the investor, whoever that person is. What we need to do is we need to be very clear on who we are first. And then we have to look at our brand and what we're putting out on social, what we're putting in our newsletters, what we're putting in our correspondence, and say, does that actually match up to my personal archetype? And if it doesn't, then you can make some changes. So instead of talking about this, what I want to do is I wanted to take you guys through a quick exercise. We'll take a few minutes to do this. I'll pause. I'm going to have you guys do this really quick. So if you're driving, it might be a little bit harder, so I want you to come back to it. But what I want you to do is I want you to copy, or excuse me, I'll copy, excuse me. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it in the chat down below. What we're going to do is we're going to take a 5-minute break. 5-minute break, and I'm going to put you guys all into your breakout rooms, okay? So I'm going to put 5 breakout rooms really quick. I'm going to assign that. And what's going to happen is that you guys are going to all go into your breakout rooms really quick, do your archetype, and then I want you guys to share what it is. Are you the warrior? Are you the sage? Or whatever you land on, I want you to share it with whoever's in the room. We don't have to have a whole discussion because we're going to come back, talk about that, and then talk about the market. So here's what we're doing. Take the link down below. You're going to do the archetype test. There's 10 questions, so it will not take us long. Then once you have yours, share with the group who you are, and then we're going to come back as a collective in literally 5 minutes. So yeah, 5 minutes, we'll come back right at, let's say 8:52, and then we'll talk about this, and then we'll talk about the market. So you guys ready? Any questions for me? Does everyone have the link? We ready to go? Can you guys take yourself off of mute really quick? I want to feel your excitement, okay?
Yeah.
I'm feeling very
let's
pumped
go.
today.
Gonna click
All
and
right, cool.
click.
Let's go. I'm going to open the rooms now. Go ahead. Disperse. We'll get everybody back in the room in just a second. Hi, Lisa. What's up, Patrick? Back from the Philippines, bro, looking all sharp. Happy birthday, my bud. How are you?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's good to be back, man. Ready to get to work, baby.
That's right, bro. That's right. All right, guys, we'll get ready in just a couple seconds. Everyone is coming back in the room. Now, there's a couple different archetypes, and I'm wondering if we can start to see who people are. I want to do a quick example of some things right now. I want to see, based on what you guys know, if you could guess who people's archetypes is, and I think this will be fun. So, Chicken Mom, what's happening?
Hello, I am driving and on my way to cheer practice, and it's my daughter's birthday, so I wasn't able to participate fully.
It's okay. It's all right. All right, cool. Let me do this. That way I'm not calling on people and having empty results through my questions. Give me an emoji on the screen if you did the test. If you weren't driving, if you had the ability just to answer the 10 question, give me an emoji on the screen if you're able to do the test. All right, cool. So, all right. So quite a few people raised their hand. All right, good. Now, if you haven't met everybody, it's okay. Let's see. Did Roxanne do hers? Let's see. Lisa did hers. Let me view who did theirs. Okay, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So if you haven't met Brandy, Brandy's on the call, and Brandy's an amazing human being. Hopefully a lot of you guys, oh, hi, Brianna's daughter. Hopefully you guys have an opportunity to meet Brandy, but you've probably been around her. You've seen some of the stuff that she's doing on social. Melody, have you met Brandy? All right. So Melody, go ahead and take yourself off of mute. I'm going to have you do a quick exercise with me. Out of the archetypes that you just went through, where do you feel that she would land? Is she more the nurturer person? Is she more like the warrior type spirit? Like if you were just to kind of bottle her into like a category, where would you put her?
Oh, warrior for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Brandy, share what your archetype is.
It was the hero.
Hero. Okay. So share a little bit with me what you learned about that, and did you feel that it was a true and aligned with who you actually are as a person? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, when it popped up, I was like, okay, go figure. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what about it resonated for you?
My entire story, like just, actually, I needed that reminder today, so I needed that. So, I don't know. I think just it was a good reminder, because I think a lot of times, like, I don't give myself enough credit for that, even though I know it's true.
Yeah, and you know, this hero that you are to your family, you know, now to this industry, you know, to your own health and what you've been able to overcome and accomplish, right? Like that story in itself will attract other people, because other people are so attracted to that hero and be like, wow, if she's been able to overcome this and be a champion for herself, for her family, for health, and for perseverance, that's probably somebody that I want to align with and do business with, right? So I love that. And I'm glad that you needed the reminder. We never know what's going to happen on these calls. So I appreciate it. Who else wants to share with me what their archetype was? Go ahead and take themselves off of mute and just share what yours were. And I want to talk a little bit about it. So I have some hands up. Let's go. Jessica, so go to Hernandez, and then we'll go over to Lisa. And then after this, you guys will switch gears and talk about the market. But let's go, Jessica.
Good morning, everyone. I got the sage.
Nice. Okay, so tell us a little bit about that, and what was it about the sage, and what were some of the components of that really stood out for you?
Just seeking out knowledge and asking a lot of questions to become an expert. I feel like I was able to relate with that 100%.
Totally. And do you feel like when you look at yourself on social and the things that you're doing, do you come across as like the seeker, the knowledge seeker, always wanting to fill your cup and gather information? Do you find yourself portrayed as that person?
I don't know. Do I?
I think so. I think that you always have a sense of curiosity. And what's cool about you is if anybody has spent any time with Jessica, she comes across as super, super humble, right? Always open to learn. I'm sure there's people on this call that she's probably reached out to and said, hey, how do I do this thing? So I think that that's right in alignment. I think that you are that person that is always willing to ask. But then once you have that, you're willing to now pass it on to other people. And that's just what I have experienced. But Melody wants everyone to guess hers. Let's see what people put in here. Caregiver. No, I mean, I love her. She's a caregiver, right? Baller. We'll come to Melodies in a second, but let's go over to Lisa Torres. Lisa Torres, what was yours? What did you find? Tell us a little bit about, some of the things that you read about yourself through the archetype. Let's go.
I did mine yesterday. I am the sage as well, and I really love that. I do feel like I'm usually trying to absorb as much knowledge as possible, understand things completely, and then share that with whether it be my clients or colleagues or friends. I probably should share more of my thoughts. Like when I think about how many things that go through my mind every day when I come across different situations of just wisdom to impart or share with folks. And those are the things you say, like just share those moments. I don't do that enough. So that's my goal.
I love this. And when it says here about the sage, an expert, a scholar, an oracle, a philosopher, the sage, the truth shall set you free. And level 1 is search for absolute truth, desire for objectivity, talking to experts. I think I can, it's a little blurry, but level 2 is skepticism and being critical and being able to really, really analyze things that are happening. And I like that. And anytime anybody's ever spoke to Lisa, she is very, very calm. There's this very relaxing disposition about her. And so I think that the sage is really cool. And so when you think about that, like think about all the things that were just defined and characteristics of a sage. How can I speak more of that into how I communicate with my consumers? How can I put more of that into my content? How can I put more of that into my written content? And so there's so many layers on this, and we're going to go further into this. I just wanted to give you a glimpse of this today, but no, let's go. Melody, we're getting a lot of wrong answers in the chat, and I appreciate your contributions, Lisa, and I appreciate your contributions, Brandy and Jessica. But Mel, let's go. I believe personally, knowing you, it's going to be either the warrior or the hero. That's just what I'm thinking, but let's go. Let's hear yours.
I want Roxanne to guess.
All right, honey, let's go. What is it?
I was going to guess hero.
Oh my gosh.
That's my guess.
So is anyone else going to guess, or can I just spill the beans?
Just spill the beans. Let's go.
All right. So mine is the creator.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So what were some of the characters? Go ahead.
Artist, innovator, inventor, musician, writer, or dreamer. If it can be imagined, it can be created.
And when you heard that and you read that, like, do you feel that it's in direct alignment? Do you think like, wow, this was good, this was spot on? Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel like it was spot on. I mean, if I always say like if you want someone to help you dream big and think about what is possible in life, I'm your person. I'm that person in the corner. I dream big. Like I dream out of the stratosphere. Some people think that I'm crazy sometimes, like my parents. My mom would always tell me like you don't have to always aim so high because if you don't achieve it and you fall short, you're going to make yourself feel bad. So aim, somewhere in the middle so that you can actually achieve your goals. And I remember always setting super lofty goals for myself, like things like that don't even make any sense to some people. But I believe deep down inside that those are possible for me. Point blank, period. Like, I just believe they're possible because I've seen other people achieve it. Like Roxanne. I walked into a building with her 3 years ago. And she was like, Mel, I've always wanted to live in Miami. It was one of my dreams. And I was like, Roxanne, if you find a place to live in Miami tomorrow when we go looking at houses, are you actually going to buy it? And she was like, no, that is too spontaneous. I'm not going to do it. That is out of the question. I'm just dreaming. We walk into the building and Roxanne Adams puts down a deposit on a condo that is like in the most amazing location ever on the Atlantic Ocean. Right there. And she like did it. And I was like, okay, like this is amazing. This is possible for me too. Someone else is doing it. I can do this too. So yeah, I definitely think it's in alignment with me. Now, when it comes to details and like specific logistics and like getting things done and checking boxes and making sure everything's all perfect with the paperwork, that's not me. I'm not your girl. Like, go somewhere else. I'm not your girl. I will help you dream big, but that's not me.
Then I'll
That's
help you
why
check the
that's why
boxes.
That's right. That's why people like you will hire somebody that may not be that creator that fills a different void, right? That's why Kenny has an Elias. That's why Kenny has a Molly. That's why Kenny has a Karina. We all fill different voids, and then we come together. It's this, this superpower. And so I absolutely love this. You guys, we're going to dive more into this, but I want you to get to know the people that are on this call right now. And I want you to look in the chat down below. And when you're thinking about, man, who's this person that I may want to partner up with on a deal? Maybe who's the person that I might need to be the calm in my storm? Who's the sage that I need to be in my corner? Who's the hero that no matter what is ultimately going to see the optimism no matter the situation? I don't care what you come to me with. I'm always going to find a solution of optimism, no matter what. It might be difficult for you to see, but I always see that. And so when you're thinking about alignment or who I may want to partner with, work with, go to for help, go to for advice, maybe it's a Cynthia, maybe it's a Carlos, maybe it's a Jeff, maybe it's a Pat, depending on where they are. So get to know your homies on this call, get to know how they operate, but more importantly, get to know yourself and really start to dive deep into this. And like I said, we're going to be doing workshops on this. We already have a branding workshop scheduled. So more information to come on this, but hopefully you guys found this cool. I found it really, really cool. Make sure to follow Nick Mallory online. He is an expert when it comes to branding. He does branding for big beer companies. And when you think about branding for beer companies, it was all, rooted in being an outlaw, right? Challenging the status quo and doing things that were edgy and really pushing the envelope. And so hopefully you guys found that helpful. I did. But let's talk a little bit about simplicity, and then we're going to talk about the market. In someone's speech yesterday, they talked about Da Vinci, and Da Vinci had wrote at one time that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And I want you guys to hang on to those words really quick. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. I remember being 26 and early in my sales career, and my mentor at that time said, the key to duplication is simplicity, right? What we are doing in our real estate endeavors is very, very complex, down to the contracts, down to the negotiations, now how we're putting together and structuring our deal, how we're sending out the deal, how we're doing all the things, right? And if you guys are in a rhythm, and if you guys have done, deals, then you start to understand that flow and that process. Well, for a consumer, it is still very, very complex. And so what we have to look at is say, how can we simplify everything that we do? And this guy said on stage, Every great Renaissance artist was trying to achieve simplicity, right? And you have to look at yourself as great artists and say, how can I achieve simplicity throughout my buying presentation, throughout my listing presentation, and throughout my investor presentation? And think about it from the standpoint of our company, right? We don't have all of these complex things that define who we are. We're not, capitalizing on new technology to drive agent behavior to make sure that they impact the lives of consumers. No, be you, but fast, right? Be you, but fast. So think about it in the simplest of terms. We took this complex thing about all these people and individuals in our world, and we just said, just be you, but fast. And in that, everyone has their own representation. So I want you to look at the things that you're doing and say, how can I truly make things simple? Somebody shared the example, and I've talked about this before. Apple is one of the greatest companies on the face of the planet in our entire history to make things very simple. 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? Before that, we didn't have that capability to have such ease and simplicity. Here's 1,000 songs in your pocket, introducing the iPod, right? At the time, it was revolutionary, and he made it simple, right? Simple, right? Be different, and their whole different campaign, they just did things and will always do things that make the complex simple. It's not about features, benefits, tech, tools, data storage, none of all that. Because for all of us, we don't want to hear that messaging. We're the consumers, and what we hear is that this thing has 1,000 songs in my pocket. Change the way you communicate. Communicate with the world at the fingertips. Okay, cool. Everything is very, very simple. So I thought that was great. And here's one more thing I want to share with you guys before we get into the data. Greatness is scary until it isn't. Greatness is scary until it isn't. And find your greatness. I look at the screen and I look at everything that you've been able to achieve in your life, in personal life, and in your business life. And a lot of this shit was scary. Remember your first video? You remember your first buyer presentation? You remember your first listing presentation? Hell, do you remember when you pulled your first set of comps? And you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? How do I do this? Do I go across the freeway? Do I not go across the freeway? Do I include this? Do I not include this? And oh my God, it's scary. And then you meet with your people and then you build this amazing relationship. So greatness is scary until it isn't, and find your greatness. So let's do this, you guys. Let's talk a little bit about the macro market, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Jeff and to Stephanie, and hopefully you guys have some contributions, and I wanna hear from you guys. So when we look at our national sales year over year, 2023 to 2024, we're about the exact same amount of sales in the United States of America, which is right at 4.1 million in existing home sales. So we're right on pace with last year. Now, last year we faced higher interest rates. This year we're facing a settlement. We're facing changes. Now, no matter what, through that 4.1 million existing home sales, that represents over $90 billion worth of potential commission for our industry. And here's what's great about this. There's going to be people that get scared. They're not able to deal with it. They're not able to understand it. They're not able to adjust, adapt. They're not reading. They're not educating. They're not in rooms like this. And they're going to see themselves out of this industry. So you guys have an opportunity to say, you know what? I truly, truly want to capitalize on all the commission that's going to be paid out in this coming year. Here's what we're up against, you guys. There is a huge war going on with all of the portals. When you look at companies like Zillow, when you look at companies like Homes.com, there's a war going on between them. And what the war is how can these companies get closer and closer to every single facet of the transaction? And you guys are seeing it at a large scale. Now, we're obviously Zillow partners, so I'm not disparaging Zillow, but what's happening is that there is a war going on. And if we think that a 40% referral fee to Zillow is high, do you think that in the realm of possibility that a 50% referral fee is completely out of the cards? Fuck no. Why? Because they're a data company and they have the power and the opportunity to do so. And here's what you guys need to really embrace. When we talk about your personal brand, your ability to build something outside of any of the platforms, outside of any of these online lead services, you guys have the ability to do so. The portals want to get closer and closer to transaction. I'll give you a couple examples. So we now have Zillow Flex across the United States of America. You still have people that are purchasing Zillow leads and they're paying X amount to receive X amount of leads every single month. Well, Zillow also has home loans. And Jeff, you are familiar with this. They also have Zillow rentals. rental. Well, now when you're going out and you're showing homes, you have to go through showing time for a lot of us. They have a showing time service. You can pay for that. Also, they have the listing showcase, which is you purchase tokens to give yourself an advantage when you are listing your home online. So when you think about the layers and the touch of the transaction, it's so much more important for us to make sure that we're building our own brand, our own identity that does not have to rely on any lead source. Now, mind you, is it important to get the phone ringing at some times in different stages of our career? Absolutely. I'll never discount that. But while you're doing that, while your phone is ringing and while you're going out and going on these appointments, your brand and the way that you're building your brand and how you're attracting your consumers should be at the forefront of what you're working on, right? You are forecasting, you are working, you are projecting this out, you are getting in rooms, you are thinking about it. And it's not just a logo. Your logo is not your brand. It is not just a hashtag. It is how consumers experience your expertise when they work with you, how you simplify the process. Buying real estate made easy, right? How are you defining that and making it simple for them? So as these wars are going on to vie for more money and more attention throughout the transaction, we have to win the war of personal branding. You all have your own personal brand, whether or not it is illustrated yet, each of you have it. We just did an exercise that showed you all that you have a personal brand that now you can start building on. Let's talk about disruptors. Disruptors are willing to lose a lot of money, but they're adjusting to the times. And I want to give you guys some stats and some figures right now. Open Door in the last 7 years has lost $3.2 billion, right? So when we're thinking about all the changes that are going on, and we think about these companies that are to come in and, oh my God, they might take our jobs. Well, hold on a second. Open Door lost $3.2 billion. Last year, Compass lost over $300 million. And when you think about where we are as a company, and if you're with us at EXP, or if you're going to align with us in the future, here's a few things that I want you guys to listen to. Transaction volume. Previous years, in 2017, Anywhere, which was previously Realogy, was at the top for transaction volume in the United States of America. And you know who was at the bottom? These insignificant companies at the time that said, oh, they're just going to come on the scene. Compass is going to buy market share because they were backed by so much venture capital money that they were going to buy market share by telling a Brandy, by telling a Carlos, by telling a Demian that if you come to our brokerage, we're going to pay you X amount of money. Well, once that money has gone 2 years after the contract, what happened is that their business declined, they lost agents, and they lost a lot of money, right? And so we came onto the scene early on. Now, obviously, EXP started to grow, and then check this out. When you think about all the companies that before were ahead of us, Redfin, Anywhere, Home Services of America, EXP is number one in transaction volume in the entire brokerage industry. Number one, we started out at the bottom. Oh my God, EXP, they're just the cloud brokerage, to now be number one over Anywhere, over Home Services of America, over Compass, and we're number one. So I want you guys to understand the power of the organization that we are a part of. And you know what happens is that we have more money available to give back to our agent population in the form of rev share. Why? Because we didn't go and spend millions and millions of dollars, open up brick and mortars, and then we had to furlough and close shops. No, we ran very lean while everyone else was giving money and buying agents. What we continue to do is serve agents at the highest level, give them back 50% of the company's profit in the form of rev share to help you guys grow additional income for you and your family to take us to the number one spot in the country. And you guys are with the number 2 team in the world for all of EXP. I'm sharing this data with you and sharing these stats with you because for a couple reasons. A, don't be afraid of what's happening in the industry because there is a lot of commission that is still to be paid out in this market, in tomorrow's market, in the market of the future. You guys have the ability to build a brand that does not have to exist in the world of these online portals. You get to build your own identity. Listen, you guys, Keep It Moving was never a brand 7 years ago, and now it has its own identity, right? Be You But Fast was something that somebody told Kenny after seeing a shirt that he was wearing. So why don't you guys just do that and look at what that's become? So I want you guys to all look at this as an opportunity in this time in history to say, you know what, I'm going to stand for something, I'm going to build something, and I'm going to create my cause, my mission, my crusade, and that's what it's going to be about. Thoughts, contributions on the conversation. I'll pause for a second because obviously I'm very passionate right now. I'm excited about what's going on, but I want to turn the mic over to you. Anybody have any thoughts, contribution? Please don't leave me hanging. Would love to hear from you guys. Let's go, Nicole.
I think the timing of this was really good because I was just, I just started working on branding more. I didn't want to focus on that in the very beginning because I wanted to see how I interacted with people and kind of get a better idea of how, get my systems together and figure out from there. I didn't feel like it was like an immediate rush, but now I've been focusing more on putting my brand together. So it was good timing.
I don't know if I saw it. Are you the caregiver?
No, I'm the hero.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. You absolutely are a hero. Like you are absolutely the hero. Everything that you're doing and raising the boys and battling cancer, like you are a hero for your family, for us. Shit, I love it. I absolutely love it. Melody, I landed on hero. So I appreciate that. Let's go to Pat. Pat, what's your thoughts, contributions on the conversation? Let's go, big dog.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very good timing, like Nicole said. I heard this quote, I think yesterday on the reels, and it said, "Don't be your own anchor, just set sail and find your own island." And I took that as, it's very scary to bring our personality out there, especially when it comes to videos and Instagram and social media, because we're like, oh, I don't know, I might be cheesy, I might be corny, people might not reciprocate my energy, blah, blah, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like you said, it's just going out there, taking that first step. It's a leap of faith, right? But at the end of the day, it's doing yourself a good service by providing the world your personality, So.
Dude, I love that because at the end of the day, man, like if you're weird, if you're different, we all are, right? We all are weird and different and quirky. That's okay. And if people don't like it, fuck them. It doesn't matter, right? Because what's going to happen is that when we chase vanity, we chase everyone wanting to see us in a certain light. When you chase substance, that means I'm just going to be myself, and that's real. And if you like me, wonderful. What that means is, I talked about this yesterday. When we try to monetize, like social media, well, you cannot monetize something that is priceless. And when I say that, I mean that to the core of who I am as a person. When you build your brand in your own identity, you speak your own purpose, your own words, your own thoughts, and you're putting that out to consumers. Now people are attracted to you because they want to work with you. Now I'm aligned with these people because we actually can vibe on a different level. When people are thinking about joining my organization, wow, I really like the way that you speak, Christina. That's somebody that I would want to work with, right? And when you think about who else is seeing it out in the world, that is 100% authentic and it's real. So chase the substance, don't chase the vanity, because now you're going to say, well, I'm just going to be myself because in me, there's a lot of substance, there's a lot of authenticity, there's a lot of personality and sass and whatever else it is. So Pat, I land on that on a very, very high level. So I appreciate this. I thank you. Let's do this, you guys. You cannot monetize what is priceless. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So let's go to our lender partners. I want to hear from you guys. Obviously I got a lot on my mind, but that's why I wanted to have this session today, you guys. I felt like I had enough notes today. I wanted to bring something to you guys. I miss you guys. I appreciate you guys. And like I said, the only reason I have the opportunities that I have right now is because of you. So I'm grateful for you. And that's why I wanted to make sure that we all came together this morning. Jeff, let's hear from you, big dog. Let's get some, thoughts on the market, thoughts on the conversation first, and then thoughts on the market.
Yeah. Hey, in regards to the conversation and what you were mentioning about the lead gen and specifically Zillow, but all of them out there, in order to get the biggest ROI, and like you were saying, I mean, how much is the referral fee going to be? Where is it going to stop? But there are, cases, of course, where you need to get the phone ringing and you need to build your foundation, which is awesome. Do that. But turn those Zillow customers or Open Door customers or whoever, turn them into your customer so that it's not just one transaction, it's a lifetime of transactions. You can prime the engine with, some lead gen and some different things, but once they're in there, it's not just one transaction. It's not transactional. You got to build a relationship and make them your customer, not Zillow's customer anymore. So, just something that I've thought about, and making sure you maximize your return on investment for the money you are spending, the money you are paying to these lead gen services. So
totally. Yeah,
so,
dude, I appreciate that. I appreciate that at a very high level. So yeah, let's talk about the market, man. What are you guys experiencing?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, it's been exciting. And as we've had these conversations and we talk about this, every Wednesday, we are on it's, I don't know, I think it's great right now. We're on this glide path right now where things are coming down, and they're coming down consistently, but it's not crazy volatile. We're not, bouncing all around. Nothing moves in a straight line, of course, but we are on a clear path with rates easing and getting a little bit lower. And it just makes it easier for us to all do our jobs when it's not as volatile and just bouncing all around. So it's probably been some good messaging from the Fed in terms of what their goals are and what they want to see out of the market. Of course, some of the jobs reports, which I'll talk about in just a second. The inflation reports have been cooperating. So it's, we're just in a good spot, and great messaging to someone out there. Great messaging to, the buyers that are out there, even the sellers that, that look, I mean, the market is coming down, but as this continues to get better, it's going to get more and more competitive. We are going to, you're going to have more buyers out there. So just in that vein, ADP job report came out today. We get 2 jobs reports. We get private payrolls on Wednesdays, and then we get the BLS jobs report on Fridays. Now, BLS is really what moves the market and what everybody, points to. Today's jobs report was expecting from ADP was expecting 150. It came in at 120. So, was encouraging from a standpoint of job creation. You do want it to slow down so that, we can, bring that inflation number, continue to bring that down. So looking forward to the BLS number. It could be a little bit of a wild card, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen on Friday, but, overall the trend has been in a good direction. Second thing is Fed is started meeting yesterday, is finishing their meeting today, releasing their statement today. Not going to be, well, for the most part, they could surprise us, but not anticipated to cut rates at this meeting. But it's going to be in a lot of the messaging that that the Fed comes out with in their statement. And then I believe after this one, Jerome Powell has a press conference, which will be huge. And they'll be able to ask him questions about, upcoming rate cuts. What's the feeling of the Fed members in terms of inflation and the job picture situation and how they're moving forward. So anticipate a rate cut in September, quarter point probably, maybe a follow-up one in December, another quarter point, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. And anybody with buyers out there, I would encourage them, look, as rates come down, there's just going to be more buyers coming into the market. So you may get a 0.25% lower in rate, but you might have to pay $25,000 or $50,000 more in price. So, just be smart about the situation and don't necessarily wait for rates to come down further, because it's just going to create more competition.
God, I absolutely love this. Great messaging, Jeff. And Stephanie, I know you always have great contributions. Anything you want to share about the market conditions, patterns, nuances that you're experiencing?
So I'm seeing a lot of seller credit. So I'm preaching to everyone. Like, I'm very big on education, and I'm telling everybody, like, right now we're in the sweet spot and you need to get in before the rates come down, because yes, they are going to come down. We're definitely trending in that direction. Rates are much better today than they were 2 months ago. So get in where you fit in. I'm just preaching that all day long to everyone, because it's just going to get more expensive. And we're starting to see, real estate is becoming a luxury. It really is. And I can't stress that enough to these people who are teeter-tottering on the borderline of not qualifying. I'm like, you got to get in, use whatever program you can get to help you. There's assistance out there. Get in, buy something now so that you can secure a future for your family, because it's going to continue to get more expensive and you're going to get priced out. When the rates come down, the home prices will go up and you may get priced out. So lower rates isn't always beneficial for the buyers.
Yeah, God, I love it. I love it. And you guys will obviously continue to have these conversations. I felt that there was, good timing to, have, a different intro to this call. But you guys, you have to be not an expert. You have to have a general understanding of economics. You have to be looking at the data, understand, especially if you're looking at pennies, if you're looking at sales, if you're looking at the reports that come out from like the weather report, East Bay, those are always a month behind. So when you're really thinking about where we're at today, you have to run your own data. Remember what I said, if you run any of your comps, any of your data, if you pull anything from the MLS, you can plug that into ChatGPT and say, please break this data down into 5 bullet points that I can communicate with the consumer in a way that they would understand. You guys, it's important that you have a general understanding of economics so you can have those important conversations with your consumer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook you guys up really quick in the chat down below. I want to provide you with something when you have an opportunity. Watch this. Let's see here. Yep, I got it. I want you to watch this. This is an update about NAR. This is from our partners at EXP. Watch that. Obviously, we're going to be having more conversations about that, but grab that link in the chat down below and watch that when you can. But you guys, before I head back out to sessions here in Las Vegas, I want to hear a couple key takeaways from you guys. Let's go, Mel. Mel, any key takeaways from our time together today? Would love to hear your contributions. And then let's go, who will be on deck? We'll go to Princess. You'll be on deck.
Wait, did we hear what Damien's archetype was? I'm just wondering because I didn't see him chime in.
I think our phone broke up, but yeah, I got Hero back somehow.
Hero. Okay, cool.
Okay,
right.
I love it. I love it.
Have a nice workout, D. I really love this. I love learning about you guys. I love learning about myself. I feel like this business that we're in is constantly challenging us to evolve and to grow as people. I've been in this since 2011, so almost, a decade now. And every single day is a learning opportunity for me. Every single day I have to push myself to get better. Even if it's 0.5%, I'm always learning new things about myself. And I know Elias spoke on stage yesterday, and this isn't to flatter you up or anything, but I called him after he got off stage and I just said, you know what, bro? Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to know you. I'm so proud that you are someone that's in my life because, Elias and I have been friends for about 4 years now. He joined Team Fast like a little bit after I did. So we've been aligned in that way since we met. And even though we've had our differences over the years, we fight like brother and sister. Like, he is always there for me. It doesn't matter how mad he is at me sometimes or how annoyed he is at me sometimes. He is always there for me. He is always showing up. He's always pouring in value. If I'm in the room, he's looking for me. If I don't show up, he's calling me, asking me where I'm at. Where are you? How come you're not there? How come you're not showing up? Let's try this strategy. Maybe this will work for you a little bit better. Well, next time, maybe you could tweak this post just a little bit like this, and let's see what your engagement is like. And he is just someone that is always pouring into me as a person. And I'm sure if you're on this call, he's poured into you in some way, shape, or form. And so that's a true testament to who he is as a person, right? And I feel like if we could all be a little bit more like Elias every single day and pour into the people in our lives, we will be better. We will just be better human beings on this planet. And I feel like that should just be our goal, is to just be better humans at the end of the day. Like, fuck real estate, fuck all the other stuff and the daily grind and hustle, but the goal should just be to be a better fucking human. So you know what, Elias? I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to know you. Thank you for being in our lives. Thank you for being you. Thank you for going on stage and lighting shit up for all the people in the audience. You are one of my best friends, and I absolutely love you.
Well, I love you too. Wow, I didn't expect that. I appreciate it. And you guys, I look at it and all these opportunities come from you guys. They come from the impact that I've had and the impact that you've had on my life. And I will always speak that gospel. And, it's just exciting to see what's happened in a short few years for me. And I'd been in this business prior to, being aligned with this company and with Kenny. And so it's just great to see everything that's happening. And I manifested that stage yesterday. I told myself I'd be on that stage by the end of the year. And so I'm grateful. So you guys, this is not about me. This is always about you. Princess, we are going to end the session now. I'll come back to you next week, but I want to get back to Inman, and I want to respect everybody's time. But you guys, hopefully you took something from this call. Like I said, if it's one thing, then good. Then go out there and apply that in your life and business. I'm eternally grateful for you guys, for the relationships. I feel like I'm relationship rich. I feel like I'm just really at a great position. And you guys, I'm just getting started, and I've been doing this for a while. I'm just getting started, and I have an extra year. I have more to say, more to give, more to contribute. And I'm still building my own personal brand. So you guys, all the things that I'm asking you to do, sharing with you, imploring you, encouraging you to do, I've gone through that same fight that you're going through. So I got your back. If you need anything, let me know. As always, keep it moving toward your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and make this a week that counts. Peace.